Hot news today for BTS Jungkook lovers. Jungkook's new tattoo makes the army nervous. Check it out. The world can change in an instant, even with a single photo. However, when what changes is the body of a BTS Jungkook, a global icon, the voice of a generation, and an irreplaceable symbol of a cultural revolution, then one small change can create a huge storm. This time, it's not about the songs, not about the awards, nor about the internal drama of the agency. Rather, about one tattoo. Yes, one tattoo which is surprising. And no, this is not an ordinary tattoo. It's not just ink on the skin, not just body art, as some understand it. This is a symbol. This is a signal. This is a hint. A message not written in words, but permanently engraved on the body of a man who once said that his body does not belong to himself, but to the millions of eyes that call themselves the army. So, the question is now burning all over social media. Why did Jungkook tattoo that part of the body? And more than that, what does the new tattoo really mean? Speculation instantly flooded the virtual world. High-resolution photographs are forensically dissected. The fancam video is enlarged, re-edited, slowed down, repeated to a certain second just to make sure. Is it really a new tattoo? Is it real? Or just a shadow illusion? Or more surprisingly, was it a hidden message to someone? The army is not silent. The world does not stand still. South Korea is not silent. Even the American media began to cover it. But HYBE chose silence. And precisely because of this, the silence became noisier than 1,000 clarifications to IT all started at the airport. Not a big stage, not a television interview, but from a flash of a camera in the hands of fan sites who have been trained to capture details that even security guards are not aware of. Jungkook walked as usual, wearing a black hoodie, training pants, and a large mask covering his face. But the moment he lifted the suitcase onto the trolley, the moment happened. The sleeves are slightly open, and there, near the wrist on the very personal inner side, a flash of ink appeared. The shape is not familiar. And what caused the most uproar? It was not in the previous photos. Suddenly, the army all over the world became detectives overnight. All old documentation is reopened. Debut photo, concert photos, advertising photo shoot, every V-Live session ever recorded. There were no such tattoos before. Then it means only one thing. It's new. The tattoo is new, but the location, that's the most astonishing. Not in the outer arm as usual, not on the fingers that are already full of ink, but on the inner side of the wrist. A very private location, close to the pulse, close to the center of feelings. It was as if Jungkook was saying, it's not just a style. This is something close to my life, with my blood. So the public asked, what does the tattoo mean? Some speculate that it was someone's name. Some see the shape as a number. Some fans from the international community speculated that it was the initials of someone very special. The name was not mentioned openly, but among the whispers of the forums, it appeared again and again. Some believe that this has to do with Jungkook's past, with someone he once vaguely mentioned in one of the live broadcasts that HYBE has now removed from the archives. But the more surprising thing was HYBE's response. Not just silent, but removed all the old content that could refute or confirm the existence of the tattoo in the past. V-Live, which was once available, is now gone. The old promotional images are now replaced with the latest versions, as if to cover something. And in the South Korean entertainment world, when a company as big as HYBE has something to hide, it's definitely not trivial. South Korean netizens were divided. There are those who support Jungkook's self-expression and call it part of art and personal freedom. But there are also those who question, is this a form of silent rebellion? Is Jungkook expressing his dissatisfaction with the system that has been controlling him? Or even more controversial, is this tattoo a symbol of resistance to HYBE? Behind all that, observers of Korean culture began to speak up. They say that tattoos in Korean culture still have their own stigma. It is still considered a symbol of rebellion, criminality, and even deviation from the norm. So when someone like Jungkook, a national icon, a teenage role model, an emblem of Korea in the eyes of the world, tattoos his private body parts secretly, the meaning cannot be underestimated. It's not just about the image on the skin. This is a political statement. This is a silent scream. And if that's true, then the question becomes deeper. What is Jungkook up against? Army International defended desperately. They call this a form of courage. That Jungkook, who since the age of 15 has worked to support his family, who since adolescence lived under the spotlight of the cameras, is now finally taking back his own body. That the tattoo was a form of taking control of his life. But again, HYBE's silence actually made all the speculation even wilder. Since there was no clarification, the public made up its own narrative. There are also those who believe that the tattoo is a form of respect for the mother. In certain fan communities, there is an interesting analysis that the shape of the tattoo, when viewed from a certain angle, resembles the letter M, which is said to be the initials of the mother's name. Jungkook tattooed his mother's name near his heart as a symbol that she is the blood of my life. And if this is true, then this will be one of the most emotional tributes in K-pop history. But why hide? Others link this to an incident last year, when Jungkook went missing from the public for several weeks. At that time, rumors circulated that he was under heavy pressure and that there was an internal conflict between BTS members and the agency. Now, there is speculation that the tattoo was made during that time, as a form of emotional outlet. And if it is true, then this tattoo is not only a symbol of love, but also a wound. A wound that is now immortal on his body. Not stopping there, conspiracy theories also emerged that the tattoo was part of a hidden message to someone who was still in his life in secret. Female names from trainee times, once mentioned by former HYBE staff, are sticking out again. Moreover, some fans managed to find similarities in the shape of the tattoo with a tattoo design that was once used by the woman on her old social media accounts. Is this a coincidence? Or more than just memories? Meanwhile, reactions from South Korean conservative fans began to appear on local forums such as Pan and the Coup. They questioned Jungkook's ethics. They asked, is it permissible for a role model to tattoo her body openly, especially on the part of the body that symbolizes life? Some even wrote, if he tattooed his body for the sake of love, then he has sold the image of his idol. But all this did not make Jungkook clarify. He continued to perform as usual, smiling at the airport, say hello politely. It was even caught on camera helping staff who were struggling with luggage. But one thing never happened. He never showed the tattoo in person. Some fans even mentioned that Jungkook's actions reminded them of one of the most emotional lines he ever uttered in a live broadcast. Out I go, everything, but I said. A quote that is full of mystery, but has now become very relevant. Because now, what comes out of him is a new form of him. A form that can no longer be contained by the system, by the rules, or even by the expectations of the fans themselves. Meanwhile, other rumors say that there is more than one new tattoo. That visible tattoo is only a small part of a series. That behind those sleeves,